Hello, Champagne Collective, and welcome to your July Collective. So I was inspired. Obviously, I love champagne, so we're always doing grower champagne. But I just got back from Champagne, France, and I wanted to incorporate our last trip with our group into the collective this month. I'm still on a high from that trip, by the way. It was so amazing. So I thought I would bring one of the producers that I absolutely love into the club this month. And you may or may not have heard of Champagne Leclerc Briant, but I hope that you'll learn something new about them in this tasting. So yes, so this is Champagne Leclerc Briant. This is their extra Brut Reserve. And a little bit about Leclerc Briant itself. So there is a long history with this house. They date back to 1872, and they are based out of a small region called Cumier. We've talked about it before in our other collectives if you've been a member for a while. So Cumier is the sunniest village in Champagne. And they did move from Cumier over to Epernay, where they are located now, which is one of kind of the bigger cities of Champagne. And there's really not too much history being said about the early years of Leclerc Briant, other than the fact that they really focused quite early on two things: biodynamics, which was unheard of in the 1960s in Champagne, and then also single vineyards, which they were also doing around the 1970s. So those were kind of pillars of their philosophy or their DNA. And then fast forward to around 2012, the house, it kind of became a sleepy house, very unknown in kind of the 90s and early 2000s. And in 2012, it was revitalized. It was purchased by a wonderful couple who also owns some other properties in Champagne. And they brought on, or actually kept, the current winemaker Hervé Geston, who actually established this style of the house from the 90s. And Hervé is pretty much a legend in Champagne. He's known for being kind of the father of biodynamics. And he is also a really great wine consultant or winemaker consultant for other beautiful wineries all around the world. When I was speaking to him in June, I told him, I was like, so when is your book coming out? And he said, I need to write a book because nobody's actually written the right book for biodynamics when it comes to winemaking. So hopefully he does that because he has so much knowledge. Every time that I see him, I'm in complete awe of anything that he has to say. But anyways, biodynamics is the strictest kind of certification you can have in Champagne, or just about. And it revolves around kind of natural processes with treating the vines and not using any herbicides or pesticides. And then also working with the moon and the moon phases and using the strength of the moon when it comes to taking care of the vines. And even in the winery, the practices in the winery. So because of all of this, a lot of people call Leclerc Briant Champagne full of energy. So real energy, because it is linked the moon to the soils and everything in between. There's just something about it that gives you life and vibrance and energy. So if you are looking for a little wake up, this is a great morning champagne. And if you are looking to go to bed early, this is not a great champagne, because I always call it my caffeine, because when I drink the champagne too late at night, I'm up and I'm buzzed. So, but just as a heads up, this will make you feel really good. So this is their Brut Reserve. So this is kind of like their flagship wine, one that you'll find more easier than the others. We would carry it every so often here at Sarasota Wine Co. This is a blend of the 3 grapes of Champagne. It's also a secret vintage Champagne. So you'll find on the back that you have the vintage 2021. It also has a lot of information. So on here, you've got the cepage. You also have the dosage, which is an extra brut. It's quite low. And then the disgorgement was 2024. But so you're getting a lot for your money here, because I always have meant to ask Leclerc Briant about why there's kind of mixed messaging in what's in their bottle. And that's because they almost intend on doing that. So this is a secret vintage champagne. So they're only using the 2021 harvest, but they choose to kind of not declare that vintage, just in case they might want to put some reserve wines in there someday. But for this one, it's 2021 vintage. It's not a great vintage in Champagne, but it is if you have a nice blend of the grapes. It wasn't a great vintage for Meunier, but you've got some great support there with the Chardonnay and with the Pinot Noir, and this is just always consistently such a beautiful champagne. So let's go ahead and give it a try. So obviously you have this like straw yellow, a little tinge of gold in the color and fine bubbles. And then on the nose, I get a little bit of kind of citrus peel, but mainly like peach, nectarine, apricot almost. And then there's some brioche and hazelnut in here. A little bit more savory on the nose. Beautiful. So on the palate, I get just these beautiful, bright and vibrant fruits. I also get a lot of brioche. I get some nuts as well. And it has a beautiful, beautiful, long and saline finish to it. So the acidity is hitting and it's making my mouth water and I want more. I think this is a champagne. It has like the classic cepage champagne, so it's like easy drinking, but it's a little bit on the savory side. So I think it would be really, really great with food. So this one I would go with like caviar for sure. Maybe some fried chicken or French fries, like fatty things. I think it would go really well because the acidity will definitely cut through the fat. But because it has that savory note, I think it goes really well with things like that too. Rather than on the sushi side of things, this is definitely more on the fried chicken, even roast chicken side of things. It's absolutely stunning, this wine. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. So cheers.